Raising Social Security tax cap for high income earners would help extend the solvency for Social Security, but not fix the problem quite. Its shrinking reserves is an issue. Taxing more income for higher earners could help with Social Security's financial problems, but it wouldn't completely fix the issue. Now, I'm referencing an article that came out today on Social Security, and they're going to be telling us exactly how, if they change the tax caps on earned income, it would extend the solvency. And they're saying that this would help fix the current problem. It would kick the can down the road, but it wouldn't fix it permanently, that this is only a temporary fix. Now, I'm going to be covering the details for you because, as you know, here on the channel, just recently, I shared with you, heard from the Social Security Administration. They gave new numbers saying that the solvency will be expiring here around the year 2035, 2034. We even heard from some members of Congress, they believe it's going to be 2033, which means that here very soon, Social Security's solvency will be running dry. They will be running out of funds. And as a result, they're not going to be able to pay out the full benefits. 100% of the benefits will not be payable to individuals. And they're saying there will be cuts across the board if they do not extend the solvency of 20 to 25%. So you would only receive 80% of those funds. So we are waiting to see if Congress is going to be doing anything to address these issues. And I'm going to be covering for you exactly what can be done and how long it will last. Now, in addition to that, if you missed my video yesterday, you're going to want to check it out. Amidst Congress trying to figure out how to extend the solvency, we've also heard that SSI is changing. The first time in years, there are being rule changes to SSI that will be implemented at the end of the fiscal year. As we enter into 2025, starting the end of September, going in October, SSI is going to be having some big rule changes that will impact millions of people. We're hearing that there will be expansion to who can get accepted, streamlining the process. Food, EBT, is going to be changing the rules for Social Security as well. And also, this is going to be increasing the benefit payouts for a lot of people that are collecting SSI. If you missed that video, check it out. But I also have it linked in the description if you'd like to read it for yourself. I'm looking at one right now. Came out yesterday. Social Security is changing SSI forever. Millions of Americans will benefit from these changes, and it's going to be one of the biggest changes that we have seen in years to any of the programs for Social Security. So I'm going to get you caught up on the latest with what is happening, though, right now with extending the solvency and how if they change taxation, it could help out millions of Americans that depend on these benefits. And that includes everybody across the board. So if you collect retirement, SSI, SSDI, and you're wondering about the solvency and extending the funding for Social Security, you're going to want to check out this video. So I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. Do me a favor, if you appreciate the updates, take a second for me, hit that like button. I see we've got almost 400 people in the room. And if you can hit that like button for me, it just helps spread this out even further. I see we've almost got 100 likes. So if you haven't done so yet, if you could please do so, it helps out the channel a ton. Also hit subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And also, I will keep you up to date on everything as it unfolds. And I see people are in the comments. I think people can see me and hear me okay. Let me know if you can. I see Frank saying hi, Steve. Gary Carr says SSI comes out of different funds. This is why I'm retiring at 62. Let's see here. Hello, Steve, says Cecilia. Taco Tuesday says Taco Cat. Steve, why is this not being shown on the mainstream media, says Sandy Keeler. Sandy, the mainstream medias, they are focused on their agendas. So as news comes out, they got to pick and choose what they think is the most important thing to report on. Right now, it is some of the trials that are going on with Donald Trump and other things as well. But all my articles, I'm keeping you up on the latest with Social Security, along with what's going on in the world, what could impact you and your family. So right now, I have got this information coming out from the Social Security Administration. Let's see here. Steve, is it all true? Why is this not in the news? Main nightly news. Again, they've got to go ahead and pick and choose which reports they're going to be talking about. Right now, they're all surrounding the trials, but this is linked in the description below for you. So again, I'm going to be covering for you the latest on this. So what we're hearing is reports coming out about raising Social Security tax cap for the high income earners and how it will extend out the solvency. In addition to that, as I mentioned as well, if you missed my video yesterday, Social Security is changing SSI forever. Millions of Americans will be able to get more benefits and more will be able to apply for them and there's going to be major changes to the rules surrounding SSI. This is the first time we've seen this in years. And a lot of this has to do, this is coming directly from the Social Security Administration with the new commissioner, Martin O'Malley. As we saw, Kilolo Kijakazi, the previous commissioner, is out. Martin O'Malley is in, and he is trying to focus on prioritizing certain things for Social Security. And we're hearing that SSI rule changes are underway. So let me go ahead and get you caught up on the latest, though. I see people coming in. Do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't done so yet, and let's get you caught up on the latest. Now, this article coming out today from Verify, raising Social Security tax cap for high-income earners. Who would it help? It would help, but it would not fix entirely the long-term issue with Social Security. Now, it says Social Security is facing a financial shortfall that could lead to the program's inability to pay full benefits to retiring Americans in about a decade. And we just saw those reports coming out, and they said that roughly by the year 2035, we saw members of Congress saying 2033, the funds will be depleted, which means 100% of the benefits will not be able to be paid out. Program operates with two trust funds, one which helps support monthly benefit payments to retirees, their spouses, and survivors of deceased workers, and one for the people with disabilities. According to the annual Social Security Trustees report released on May 6th, so this was just about a week ago when we had that information come out, the combined trust funds, so understand these are both trust funds, they are estimated to be depleted by the year 2035. Social Security's retirement trust fund alone is expected to run out by the year 2033. So both of them, SSI, Social Security, SSDI, all of them under the scope of the Social Security Administration trust funds will be out by the year 2035. Retirement, they're saying, out by the year 2033. Once that happens, Social Security checks for retirees are expected to be about 80% of what they otherwise should be. So 20% cuts across the board. That is, if Congress does not act. They need to take action and get something done. As many Americans worry about the program's future, some people, like former Secretary of Labor Robert Reich, says the wealthy aren't paying their fair share in Social Security's payroll taxes. Reich and others propose that the government should scrap the Social Security tax cap to help fix the program's funding issues. I've mentioned this here on the channel several times, that right now, the issue that we have with the funding for Social Security, the only way that I can think of, unless there's just an entirely new system put in place to fix Social Security at this time, is to simply tax people more on their income to be able to provide the funds that are necessary to get us through. So I think that this is likely going to happen. Let me know if you agree. Put a 1 in the comments if you think that they're just simply going to have to raise taxes on income to help keep it funded, or put a 2 if you think, no, they won't do that. There's another way, or there just will be cuts across the board in 10 years. Let me know your thoughts. 1, if you think tax cuts or tax increases are coming. 2, if you think they won't be, and there will be either some other solution or there will be cuts. Social Security is primarily funded by a dedicated payroll tax that employers and employees pay into. So right now, as you know, the full tax on the income is about 12%. 6% from employers, 6% from employees, or the full 12 if you are self-employed. Higher earners don't pay Social Security payroll taxes on all of their income, though. The current tax law only taxes people on income up to a certain amount, which is known as the maximum taxable earnings. This amount increases every year to keep pace with increases in average wages, the Social Security Administration explains. Now, in 2024, this year, the threshold for which they tax people for Social Security is $168,600. That means that people who earn up to that amount, they will pay Social Security payroll tax on all of their income. But people who make more than $168,600, they stop paying into Social Security for any earnings above that amount. And so what we have heard is President Joe Biden has said he wants to help extend the solvency of Social Security by increasing the taxes of those that make $400,000 a year or more. He said not a penny more should be paid by anybody that earns less than $400,000 a year. Now, we actually had seen a proposal come out from Bernie Sanders, very popular, the Social Security Expansion Act, and he had proposed across-the-board increases of $200 per month, which was something that President Joe Biden said that he wanted to see. However, the tax cap change was $250,000 not 400,000. So President Joe Biden, when he saw Bernie Sanders' Social Security Expansion Act, said, I can't get behind this because I said that nobody that makes less than $400,000 a year will pay an extra penny into the Social Security trust funds. So he scrapped the bill. But I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how long it will extend it if it's $400,000 cap or a $250,000 cap. They are covered in this article. We're going to be talking about that here in just a second. And you can let me know which one you think is better. Now, Verify looked into whether raising or completely eliminating the Social Security tax cap would help to address the program's financial shortfalls. So the question is, would raising or eliminating the Social Security tax cap help address the program's funding shortfall? And the answer is yes. Raising or eliminating the Social Security tax cap would help address the program's funding shortfall, but these changes would not entirely fix the program. So here is the results of what they found. Raising or eliminating Social Security's tax cap would extend the life of the program's combined trust fund, meaning retirees would receive full Social Security payouts longer than they currently are estimated to go. But the trust fund would still eventually run out of money. Social Security is facing a long-term funding problem because it is collecting less revenue than it pays out on its benefits. That's because for each person getting Social Security benefits, there are fewer workers currently paying into the program than in past years. As the nation population ages and more baby boomers retire, said the Peter J. Peterson Foundation in an explanation. When this happens, the program has to tap into the trust fund reserves to help cover the cost of the monthly benefit payments. But Social Security has long warned that without action from Congress, we have yet to see any action from them on this, the trust funds will eventually run out of cash reserves, which means the program won't have enough money to pay out full benefits. So just understand, when the solvency runs out, it doesn't mean you won't get full benefits, but there will be cuts. Raising or eliminating Social Security tax caps would help address the funding shortfall by generating more revenue, but these changes alone wouldn't get rid of the shortfall entirely, experts say. Eliminating the payroll tax max or raising it substantially would go a long way toward fixing Social Security's financial problems, but it would not in and of itself eliminate the problem. We would still have a long-term deficit, said Richard Johnson, director of the Urban Institute's program or retirement policy on the retirement policy. He said, now, Paul Van de Water, a senior fellow at the Center of Budget and Policy Priorities, agrees as well. He said proposals to eliminate or raise the tax cap would make a substantial contribution to dealing with Social Security's financial shortfall, but they are not complete solutions in and of themselves. Social Security is primarily funded through a dedicated payroll tax, which is deducted from every paycheck that you receive. Employers also pay Social Security payroll tax. But over the years, listen to this, the percentage of workers earning that is subject to Social Security payroll taxes has fallen because earnings for high-paid workers, they have grown faster than the average earnings, according to the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, or the CBO, in an explanation. Now, back in 1983, 90% of all earnings were subject to Social Security payroll tax. That number has fallen in 2020 to 83%, according to the CBO. So a lot less, especially of those higher earners, is getting paid into Social Security. If the program is going to keep up with paying out the benefits at its current level, it needs to receive more revenue. Here's an explanation of the funding. So here is what we can expect if they change the tax cap rate. So, excuse me, raising the tax cap. One proposal for raising the tax cap would apply payroll taxes to people making more than $250,000 a year without raising benefit payouts. Now, this is the Social Security Expansion Act, which I've shared with you here on the channel. That is the one that is proposing across-the-board increases of $200 per month. And this was one of the ones that said, let's go ahead and make it so anybody earning over $250,000 a year, once they pass that threshold, they also start paying into Social Security again. So the cap currently is $168,000. If you make less than that, you pay in your benefits. Then if you hit $250,000, there's a gap. 168 to 250, no taxes. But once you go over 250, you start paying into it again. So for example, in 2024, that would mean that a person that is making $300,000, they would pay Social Security payroll tax on their first $168,600 of income. They would also pay taxes on the income over 250,000. So in this case, an additional 50,000 of earnings from 250 to 300 would also get taxed for Social Security. Now, in a December 2022 analysis, the CBO said that option, listen to this, would keep the combined Social Security trust funds solvent and funded through the year 2046. So it would kick the can down the road, they're saying, from 2035 to 2046. Do you think that they should do this? Should they pass the Social Security Expansion Act? It will extend the solvency of Social Security for another 11 years. If they do this, but it is not long-term fixing the problem. It just currently fixes it for a little while. Let me know in the comments. Yes, should they pass the Expansion Act? No, should they find another solution? As we're seeing here from the reports, that it is not a permanent fix. Now, the Social Security Administration's Office of the Chief of Actuaries, which provides estimates on how a range of proposals could help shore up the program's finances, evaluated the same option. It said that the proposal that would apply to the payroll tax for earnings of $250,000 starting in 2024 could close about 68% of the Social Security's long-term deficit and extend the life of the combined trust funds through the year 2050, they said. So this one is suggesting even longer. So if they pass the Social Security Expansion Act, this could go, they're saying, the CBO says 2046, and there's another one that came out from the chief actuaries for Social Security's administration saying to the year 2050. Now, the SSA and the CBO estimates, they differ because the two agencies use different formulas. Now, but both of them found that the proposal would extend the life of the combined trust funds for a little bit longer. So they could do this. Let me know your thoughts. Should they pass this? Yes, in the comments, if you think they should pass it to extend it a little bit further. No, if you think not. Let me know your thoughts. Now, also, here is the one. This is from the Social Security 2100 Act. This is the one that John Larson, Representative Larson, has been pushing, and this aligns with what President Biden has been saying. Another proposal would apply payroll taxes to income over $400,000 a year without raising the benefit payouts. Using the 2024 example, this would mean that all earnings up to $168,600 would be taxed, as well as earnings above $400,000. So there would be a gap between $168,600 and $400,000 a year where you would not pay in. But once you exceed that threshold of $400,000, you got to start paying more into the trust funds. Now, the Social Security Actuaries Office estimated that this would close about 63% of the Social Security's long-term deficits and extend the life of the combined trust funds through the mid-2040s. So they're saying maybe 2045, 2044. So it would extend it about another 10 or 11 years as well. So not much of a difference from the Social Security Expansion Act and the 2100 Act. Whether it's 250,000 or 400,000, it'll extend out the solvency about another decade or so. So let me know your thoughts. You know, they could do this at 250,000. They could do it at 400,000. It kind of doesn't matter. It's going to extend it out very similar for Social Security. Now, let's see here. Eliminating the tax cap altogether. The Actuary's Office also looked at the impacts of a proposal to completely eliminate Social Security's taxable maximum without providing increased benefit payouts. So they're saying they're not going to do that across the board increase, but just increase how much people are paying into the taxes to make sure that people can get full benefits. Now, if they did that, according to their calculations, that means people would pay Social Security payroll tax on every single dollar that they earn, regardless of how much they make. Now, the estimates say that it would close about 70% of the shortfall and extend the trust fund's life to the year 2060. So right now it's the year 2024, extending it out to the year 2060. Let's see, how long is that? 2060. It would extend it out about another 36 years if they eliminated it altogether. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think they should do? Should they eliminate it altogether? Should they increase the tax cap rate to $250,000 like the Expansion Act? Should they raise it to $400,000 like the 2100 Act? Both of them extended about a decade. Or they can extend it for about another 36 years by eliminating the tax cap altogether, and everybody pays 100% of their benefits into Social Security. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Put 2100, 2100 if you think the 2100 Act. Put a E if you think they should pass the Expansion Act, or just put an X if you think that they should get rid of the caps altogether and everybody should pay in 100% of their benefits to Social Security and extend the solvency for another 36 years. But as these estimates show, making changes to the tax cap would not fix all of Social Security's funding issues. That's why Emerson Spick, Associate Director of the Bipartisan Policy Center Economic Policy Program, says increasing the taxable maximum isn't a silver bullet and instead needs to be a part of a comprehensive package of Social Security reform. So do an entire package focused specifically on helping Social Security. And I believe that's probably necessary. There's so many issues with Social Security. Solvency extension is just one of them. Enhancements is another one. Also, the calculations, as you know, they're currently projected by the CPIW rather than the CPIE. For the COLA increases, the taxes on it that people have to pay in, the double taxation. There's an assortment of different issues right now with Social Security. A massive Social Security package is needed by Congress in order to help the program at this time because there are a lot of fixes that are needed for Social Security. Other changes could include raising the payroll tax rate and making adjustments to Social Security benefit payouts, they said. So again, some of the ones I just named, they're saying they need a massive package to address all of these. But these are some of the options that they're discussing right now to try to extend the solvency and save and fix Social Security. So this is underway right now to try to fix this issue because, as I mentioned to you, we just received those reports that were saying that Social Security is going to be running out of funds here in about the next decade or so, in which time people will only get about 80% of their benefits paid out. There will be across-the-board cuts of about 20 to 25% if Congress fails to act. Now, hopefully they'll do something here soon. There are a lot of people that are depending on these fixed income benefits from the Social Security Administration. So while they're trying to fix that, though, however, there is some good news that has come out for SSI. So if you collect the supplemental security income from Social Security, SSI, there are new changes that are taking place. This is also linked in the description below, and I covered this for you in detail yesterday as well. If you missed that video where I read right from the articles, check it out right after this. So there are so many different parts to changes going on in Social Security or things that need to be changed. Here's one of the ones that came out that is some good news for those on SSI. The Social Security Administration recently confirmed that they will be making a substantial change to the Supplemental Security Income or SSI program, which will change it forever. Thanks to this new legislation, millions of Americans will be able to benefit from SSI benefits as income and resources limits, they are being modified. This change is intended to remove barriers and make the application process more accessible to all interested applicants. Check here for more about the new proposal changes and how this will impact SSI's future recipients. Now, the Supplemental Security Income Program, or SSI, for low-income elderly and disabled individuals has the most stringent saving requirements for any federal program. And I believe it's like $2,000 or $3,000 that you can have in your account at any given time, which is why when they were getting hit with the overpayments from Social Security, it was so devastating because so many people that collect SSI, they can't have an excess of more than like $3,000 in their bank account. And then they're saying, oops, we overpaid you, and now you owe us $20,000. That is devastating to somebody on SSI. People who get benefits are either elderly or have an impairment that prevents them from working. Beneficiaries receive government funds to help them pay for the basic needs, including food, clothing, and housing. Gary Shreve, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. He said, stop funding wars and having nothing to do with the United States and use that money to pay back the SSI funds. Great suggestion, Gary. I've heard a lot of people say that. They said, you know what? Let's go ahead and focus on helping the people here in the United States first. We do want to help others as well, but let's not forget to help Americans here in the United States. So I've heard that from quite a few people as well. Now, the article says the most recent earned income figures revealed that in 2023, an individual beneficiary cannot earn more than $1,913 per month Couples spend $2,827 per month. In addition, the asset maximum limit for this monthly payment in 2023 or 2024 is $2,000 for individuals, $3,000 for couples. So again, as I mentioned, can't have more than $2,000 or $3,000. Yet they were getting hit with those overpayments that were devastating. However, this is insufficient for recipients to weather any emergencies, much less offer stability to save for the future. Social Security payments and the SSI limit issue. Administering the resource limit, often known as the asset test, is difficult for both Social Security Administration workers and applicants. With rising bipartisan support, policymakers should raise or even eliminate the resource cap. The resource limit is the major cause of erroneous payments in the program, resulting in churn since beneficiaries who exceed the outdated limits are suspended or eventually dismissed from the program. Beneficiaries who exceed the limit frequently accumulate thousands of dollars in overpayments, exactly what we were talking about. And one of the major issues right now, we've heard that literally millions get hit with this every single year, which are extremely difficult to repay with their low incomes. Additionally, SSA staff must administer these difficult and wasteful procedures while dealing with a customer service crisis caused by underfunding. Because the limit is not inflation indexed and has not been revised in decades, its value erodes year after year. It is currently worth only 1/5 as much as it was back in 1972. Now, the Social Security Administration's new expansion, this will simplify the application process for millions of SSI recipients. The Social Security's expansion of the definition of a public assistance household or a PA household may have opened the Supplemental Security Income or SSI program to millions of Americans. The PA household was defined as one in which each member received public income maintenance or PIM payments from one or more of the following programs: Aid to Families with Dependent Children, or the AFDC, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, or TAMF, the Refugee Act of 1980, the Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act, or any combination of these. This definition has since been abandoned. Under the Social Security Administration's newly published final rule, the Social Security Administration has expanded the definition of the PA household to include households with individuals who do not receive public assistance as well. Those who receive Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program benefits, or SNAP, they can be included as well. This means that a household can be classified as PA if it includes an applicant or recipient in addition to at least one other member who receives one of the specified means test PIM payments, without requiring that each member of that household receive one of the specified means tested PIM payments. The Social Security Administration intends to expand the definition of SSI, making more people eligible, increasing monthly payments for some recipients, and reducing reporting requirements for households receiving public assistance, or PA. In 2024, the maximum monthly SSI payment was set to $943 for individuals, $1,415 for couples, simplifying policies and creating programs for low-income families such as SNAP promotes greater equity in the program. And again, this article coming out just yesterday, this information coming out, and I let people know that there were big changes to the rules for SSI that was going to be impacting a lot of people. So big news for SSI, and also these reports coming out on the solvency for Social Security and how it needs to be extended to help keep this alive and help those that are depending on these programs receive 100% of their benefits. Now, in the video I did yesterday, I covered this in detail for you, the SSI new rules, because there's a lot. It has to do with, as we mentioned, SNAP, the food benefits, the rental, the housing benefits, and people's ability to apply for the program. It's going to be expanded. Some people will see increases to their benefits. So there's a lot of different components of this. It's not just one element. There was 3 major parts to it. I covered it all in that video yesterday. So if you missed that, check it out right after this one, you guys, because if you collect food stamps, so those EBTs, if you collect rental assistance, you get money or help from family members, all of that's going to be impacted. I cover it in detail in that video. So check it out right after this one if you missed that. And like I said, a lot going on right now, different components of Social Security getting adjusted. A lot of this is getting pushed by the new commissioner, Martin O'Malley. And as stuff comes up, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. But do me a favor, if I could get 10 more people to hit the like button, we will have over 432 likes, which is how many people are in the room. If you haven't done so yet and you appreciate the updates, please hit that like button. I would appreciate it a ton. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. I'll keep you up to speed on everything. I see Bird's Nest Travel Adventures says, thanks for all you do. Thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate you guys. I'll do my best to keep you guys up to speed on everything so that way you know exactly what's going on. Speedy Rider putting hearts and thumbs up. Thank you so much. And also additional resources available for you guys in the comments. If there's anybody that depends on medications, you want to have backup meds ready, lifesavervault.com, linked in the description below. We have got doctors and pharmacists in all 50 states for you, and also free guide on if we have power grid failures, and also free newsletter to stay connected in case communications go down. We're going to be sending out newsletters. It's going out right now so people can stay updated on everything that's taking place. But you guys, that is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me. I will keep you up to date as more comes out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.